parties they will hold a national election. The results are not seriously questioned. The Nationalist Party will once again govern South Africa. The Prime Minister, Mr. John Vorster, is my guest here on Firing Line. He will do what he can to explain the policies of apartheid as he has administered them since he took power in 1966, and as he intends to continue to administer them as next Prime Minister of South Africa. Stay with us.
Alright guys, welcome to the part 2 of why the apartheid government basically won. So I want to start off with tribalism, right? Tribalism has been a problem and still is a problem in South Africa, but we're not talking about this. Not a lot of people are talking about this. And you know, some of us have experienced this either at school or at home or in your community, right? So let's make an example. Let's say that your boss is a Zulu, right? He's a Zulu guy, and he basically mostly hires only Zulu people, right? Natives and stuff like that. And it's a problem because now tribalism, it's like hate towards each other. Like we're all black, so to say. And now me hating another black person because he speaks Sotho, it's pretty dumb, right? And that's the key thing with the apartheid government. That's why they created the segregation, right? Because now with the segregation, each ethnic group was in each province. Zulu people in KwaZulu-Natal, Basotho, that other side, Botswana, Northwest, or that side of Botswana and stuff like that. And this created a thing of, since we are one community, right? We can only trust each other as Zulu people. We can't trust, Basotho because they might betray us. They created that segregation, and this thing still persists even today, guys. I mean, when did the apartheid government begin? Like 1948, and now it's 2022, and we having this problem where ethnic groups, they don't like each other, and in this way, right, segregation, this type of segregation, it creates a thing of, dividing dividends, because now since we're not united, because the white people knew that once we united, we're unstoppable, right? So once you segregate us into small groups, obviously we won't get along, and us not being united is the problem that we're facing here in SA under education system. So we all know that the white child, right, basically had privileges to almost everything. That includes education. They had the best of education, where they taught them how money works, firstly, how the system works, and where to invest their money, right? But then on the black society, on the other hand, firstly, they were taught, most schools were taught in Afrikaans. So basically, learners were being taught in a language that they don't quite understand and comprehend, and that creates what a barrier, right, to learning. Because now imagine being taught in a language that you don't quite understand and don't like, right? Another thing is the Bantu education was just to equip the black child to have low skill, to become a low skilled employee, like mining, going to mining, going to bricklaying, fixing pipes, those kind of things. It didn't equip the child to become maybe like a doctor or stuff like that, unless you're really privileged. But most black people, they didn't have that, that right. And if you can look at 2022, right, it's almost like apartheid still lives on, because some of the black schools, they don't have basic needs like tables, chairs, boards. And some black children, right, they have to travel between 4 to 10 kilometers each and every day just to get to school. And that creates a barrier on its own, because now they have to fight for their lives just to get to school. And by the time they get to school, they're tired and they're hungry, and then obviously they won't absorb enough information, that the teacher is feeding them. And some of our teachers, unfortunately, are not really that skilled. Some very poor schools, they're not skilled. And imagine now having a teacher that's not skilled teaching your child, and you're expecting a child to create medicals. It's something crazy. So that's what the apartheid government did. They knew that if the black child is not properly educated, it's gonna affect not only them but generations to come, right? And when it's generations to come, it means that this apartheid system is still gonna favor the white people. The system is still gonna favor the white people until enough black people are properly educated. Islands, guys, just almost a year ago, last year, we went through something called looting, that big looting that happened last year, right? Which is crazy. Now you need to ask yourself, why are black people so angry? And most of places that were looted were black owned companies. Like, why? It's because of what the apartheid government. The system is very clever. I believe some of these people who cooked up apartheid, right? They were psychologists, because wow, guys, like, they really done their homework here, hey? Because think about this, right? Think about this. Firstly, for over 300 years, a black person has been looked down upon. We've always been the slaves. We've always had the worst of everything for 300 years. And that's obviously going to build up anger, right? And this anger is going to be passed down through generation to generation, right? So now, what the apartheid government did is they enhanced everything. Tribalism was there before apartheid, but they just enhanced it by creating segregation, right? This segregation, obviously, is going to be like black people fighting against black people in the long run. And that's what happened last year, with the looting. A black-owned company, people are just burning it down just like that to dust and stealing from the black man. Does it make sense? You would never see, Jewish people, burning down a Jewish shop or something, business. Right? You never see a white person, betraying another white person. Like, that's just crazy. So black people are conditioned this way because now, through segregation and through various things, right? And also corruption plays a key role here, right? For example, if you want to look for a job, especially if the job is within where there's a lot of black people, you're most probably gonna have to pay for that job. People will tell you that, if you want this job, pay up 10,000 rand. But why? Why aren't we black people empowering ourselves? Why aren't we united? Because of all the segregation and all these things, like these clever tactics that the apartheid government had planned for us. They made sure that we're not united, and even till today we are far from being united. And I believe even in the next generation we're not gonna be united anytime soon. And the longer we're not united for, the longer we're gonna suffer for. And that's why, guys, as I said, I created this channel. I hope I meet like-minded people who think like me, or even better, where we can empower ourselves, help the youth. Everything starts with the youth. Forget about the old people. Everything starts with us, you, the viewer. You can make a difference, right? I'm not saying that everything I said here, it's 100% perfect and stuff like that, but this is information that I accumulated myself that I wanted to share with you guys. And just like that, guys, I'm wrapping up this week's video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something in this part 2. And if you haven't watched the part 1, you can do so at the end of the video. And yeah, if you enjoyed this week's video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you happen to be new here, welcome. Why don't you click subscribe, turn on that notification bell, because I do drop a new video literally every single Sunday, and you don't want to miss it. I'll catch all of y'all in the next upload. Peace.